Okay.
Yo, what's up? You know we're here. It's a Tuesday night, and there is no fear. A Gemini, a Virgo on the flow, and we're starting the show. It's 312 episodes, yo. Knowledge is love, flying like a dove. I got me a female MC that spits love. Hot fire bar, she's coming from Mars, and lyrically, you know, she'll be giving you scars. Neptune and Mars and Capricorn, don't you see? That's how she gets down lyrically on top B. She's no joke, and her name is Farah Shea. My name is E Complete, and I spit the poetry off the T-O-P. That means off the tizzy. Eric Taylor, you know I get busy. One of those MCs that flows all the time. Mars is my chart ruler, so I'm nice for mine. The Virgo flow, that's the way that I go. And it's time for us to start another show, yo. Yeah, tonight I'm feeling so good. I want you to know we're in the Pisces neighborhood. It's Pisces season, for a rhyme for a reason. Competition, I love to give them treason. Throw them in jail. I want you to know it's time for me to say, let's start the show.
Knowledge. Wow. You're good freestyling, man. That was impressive. I love a little off the top.
Yep. It's Eric Taylor, BigEAstrology, and welcome to episode 312 of my Knowledge is Love Astrology podcast. And tonight, I have got an amazing guest. She's an actress, a writer, and a real MC, a true lyricist, Miss Farah Shea. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you tonight?
Thank you. You flatter me, Big E. I'm doing very well.
Oh, well, that's my job. I gotta flatter you.
We gotta flatter each other. We gotta lift each other up.
That's right. So I am so glad this is your second time on. And I didn't put it in the description, but I'll link the first episode if you guys missed it during the summer, so you guys can watch Miss Farah Shea's first episode on, because that was a lot of fun too. But tonight, we got some fun. She's going to perform 2 live songs for us. This is the first time that I've had people rhyme, but like you are like not just rhyming, you're going to perform for us.
I'm going to perform. We're going to get it as close to the live show experience as we can. I got the mic, I got the speaker, I got all this stuff over here. I'm excited.
I love it. So tell me, how often do you perform? Now you're in LA, and thankfully you survived all the fires. I know that was kind of crazy. Number one, how are you and your husband doing? And how are your friends and family? And then tell us how often and where do you tend to perform locally in LA?
Okay. So the fires were very crazy. And in fact, it was originally we were going to do a show kind of right after the fires. And it was just really, really hectic and crazy around here. There was a fire really, really close to us. Wow. Luckily, it got contained pretty quickly. It was the Sunset Fire, but it was, less than a mile away. We could see the smoke and the flames. We were in the evacuation zone. And not only that, my dad and brother were on a flight to come and visit me in LA that day. And they were like at the airport. And I was like, shit, guys, like we're supposed to get evacuated. I was like, don't board the flight if I don't give you the go ahead. And my dad was like, well, we're already at the airport. I was like, I know, but I don't have anywhere for you to stay if we have to get evacuated.
Wow, a mile away, Farah. That is very close.
It was very close. We had to walk outside and check on it and see the winds were pushing it that way or this way. Luckily, the wind was going that way, and they just hit that fire so quickly with the water. And I think it wasn't as windy that night, so the helicopters were really able to put it out quickly. But yeah, we were really close to it, and we were supposed to be evacuated. I didn't evacuate just because I was like, I have to stay here just to keep an eye on it to see if my dad can come. And luckily, about an hour later, it was almost contained. And I was like, all right, guys, you can board your flight. Come on down.
That's pretty intense.
It was very hectic. It was very hectic. And obviously, there's just so many people that are affected by it. My friend's whole family lived in Altadena, and they all had to evacuate. Her grandma, her uncle, their house got all this fire damage. A friend of ours, his kid's school was destroyed.
No, I have friends in Altadena and in certain areas that I know couple of people from the high school days that literally lost everything, lost their homes.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, and just so many prayers, and I hope people are still trying to gather things and bounce back. But on the positive side, you have a performance this week. So if any of our audience is out in Cali or LA, let us know where you're performing at this week, but just in general, different spots that you perform at.
I have been performing for a good amount of years now in LA. So I've literally done almost every venue in Los Angeles.
Wow. Okay.
I played at Harvard and Stone. I played the Viper Room. I played the Whiskey. I played the Mint.
I know about Viper Room and the Mint. I think I've
Yes,
heard of this.
yes.
That's awesome.
It's a pretty famous venue. I played there back in the day. I've played this really fun place called Permanent Records Roadhouse. They do a lot of really, really good shows there.
Cool.
I have my show coming up on Thursday, though, is really fun because it's like an art night plus market. So it's outside. It's completely free.
Oh, that's nice.
It's going to be about 30 different art vendors. We have tarot, jewelry, people doing tattoos, people doing tooth jewels. We have an apothecary. We have vintage clothes, all these amazing vendors. We have a bunch of artists displaying their art and selling their art as well.
That sounds like a place that I need to be at. I would like that.
It's free. It's all ages. It's pet friendly. Like literally you just roll up and we'll be there. Oh yeah. Sorry. And someone says the Whiskey is a famous spot. Yeah. The Whiskey is famous. I've done it all. The only thing I haven't done is the Troubadour. I really want to play at the Troubadour.
But that's awesome, and that's something for you to be really proud of. So I want to let the audience know, Miss Farah Shea is a Sagittarius rising, Gemini sun in the 7th, and that Aquarius moon in the 3rd. And I have to be honest, as an MC, I really, the way you rhyme and flow, and you guys will see tonight, definitely feel that Gemini, but I love the unique, innovative, futuristic freedom, liberation of the Aquarius moon. In terms of having that Aquarius moon in the 3rd house, it really shows your skills, your writing style, and communications. Do you feel that when you are sitting down and you're crafting your rhymes, and you guys, Farah does write her own rhymes, do you feel that like you always want to be the rebel black sheep, pushing the envelope and kind of like bringing the freedom and female empowerment to the rhymes?
I definitely do, because I want to bring something different and something uniquely me, and that is something that's just intrinsically part of me. And the thing is, hold on. I got a little bit of an echo going on here. Well, whatever. Anyway, it's gone now. The thing is, sometimes I don't even really have to try to be rebellious or different. It just kind of comes out that way. And I am conscious of it. I don't want my stuff to sound basic. I don't want it to sound normal. I want to talk about subject matters that are important to me. Female empowerment is really important to me. Spirituality, I like to talk about astrology. I like to talk about racism, sexism, politics. Like these are things that interest me. And I think that when people are being their most genuine self, writing from a place of sincerity, the audience can feel that.
Yeah.
And it makes for better music. It makes for better art.
And that's so powerful that you say that. But yeah, I don't think it's like try isn't the word. You just are. Right. And I think that's what I think that is so Aquarius word authentic, right? Your Aquarius moon, you are authentically Farah Shea, and that in itself is sort of that rebellious statement. You know what I mean? You're not like trying to be like, oh, I want to be a rebel. Like you're just unique. So tell everybody how long you've been rhyming for and where are you from?
Okay. So I'm originally from Salt Lake City, Utah, which is kind of a random place to
not the average home of hip hop.
Yeah, that's what I said, the birthplace of hip hop, Salt Lake City, Utah. I was literally raised around in a very, very Mormon kind of suburb of Salt Lake City, Utah. But luckily was exposed to a lot of different places. I traveled a lot as a child. My mom is also an Aquarius. She's Aquarius sun and Sag rising, and
Yeah.
she's huge into traveling. She's been to like 120 countries. So I traveled a lot as a kid. And my dad is from Algeria, and he grew up between Algeria and Tunisia, and then went to school in Paris, and that's where my parents met. So even though I was in Utah, there was just constantly influences from all around the world in my upbringing. But it was a very conservative place. And I think also that kind of spurred the rebellion in me, because I didn't agree with a lot of what was going on, and I didn't feel like I fit in. So I just kind of had this like, I just want to speak out against things. And eventually I came to LA. I went to college here. I went to USC.
Okay.
And I started rapping kind of like my senior year, when I was graduating into the first year out of college. Um, and that was 2000, and I graduated in 2008. So almost 20 years.
Wow.
Like 18 years I've been rapping and writing songs to
Uh,
varying degrees. Sometimes I was very, very serious about it. Sometimes I was, just doing it for fun at parties and stuff. But yeah, I've been writing and recording lyrics and hip hop for 18 years.
So have you noticed over the years, even like that last year at USC, or even, in the last, 12, 15 years, have you noticed that like sometimes you could see the surprised look on people's faces because of like maybe how you look? They're not thinking like this chick's gonna
Always.
spit some hot ass, like some hot rhymes. Like how does that play off to you when you see the reaction from others?
Oh, I love it. It's a sweet, sweet satisfaction. But yeah, that's pretty much every time I've ever performed or even told people that I'm a rapper or even a musician, just because I am very much like kind of a girly girl and stuff, but I also am like pretty sweet. And I don't even want to say mild mannered, but like very, very like bubbly and like just really, really kind in person. And obviously I am in my music, but my music is quite a bit sassier, quite a bit naughtier than a lot of people expect. I guess my friends aren't shocked by it, but like coworkers, because I'm like very professional at work. I work in hospitality, so I'll be at like, I work at hotels and bars and restaurants. And when they see me perform, they're like, I had no idea you had this side to you. But that's the Gemini right there, is that I have that very sweet kind of demure side. And then I have this sassy bitch that I get to get all of my frustrations, and I get to talk about things that maybe I wouldn't be able to bring up all the time. And now's my chance because I have a microphone and everyone's paying attention to me.
I love that. I love that. So you want to say hello, see who's in the chat, and
So we got Alana Taylor, we got Dan
what
Figueroa.
up,
Hello.
Betty? What's up,
Hey,
Alana?
hey Alana. We are in for an amazing show tonight. I'm super excited.
Yeah, and
If
hopefully
any,
some more people should be coming soon. But
yeah,
that's okay. So that's what's really interesting because you have Mars and Neptune in the second house in Capricorn. And the second house is literally your speech, right? And how you earn money. So it's almost like the Neptune kind of makes you soft, sweet, poetic, kind of, dreamy, imaginative, creative. And then the Mars is coming in like, yo, like Mars and Capricorn is like, I'm that boss chick because
yeah.
Mars and Capricorn is exalted. So do you kind of like, when you think of, because you do know astrology pretty well, and so the Neptune and Mars in Capricorn second house, do you kind of feel the juxtaposed energies of both of those in terms of how you speak and then how you can, spit your rhymes?
Yeah, I do, because I mean, from what I know of the Mars and Capricorn, it, is kind of like a masculine energy of sorts.
Yeah.
And I think that's in part of the shock factor, is that I am very girly and feminine, and I also have a masculine side, and I like being badass and
Yeah.
almost like not aggressive or dominant, but some of my songs are a little bit aggressive, but at the same time then you'll hear other songs that are just very dreamy and very feminine about love. So I definitely embrace both sides. Some songs you'll know is a mix of both, and some is just dedicated to probably either the Capricorn or the Neptune. But yeah, I am a woman of duality, I would say. It's a big feature in my personality.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. And then I also love the you are early OG millennial because you got the
Mhm.
Pluto and Scorpio in the 12th house. So tell me about some of the acting and writing that you've done over the years.
Okay, yeah. Most of the writing I have done is in the form of song. I haven't embarked upon writing a screenplay yet, but my husband last night was literally like, "Oh, I can't wait to see the first movie you write." And I'm like, "I don't know how to write a movie." But maybe I will one day. You never know. But in terms of acting, I actually went to school for theater. That's what I thought I was going to be doing. And I just, through happenstance, ended up working for a music producer between my junior and senior year, and he encouraged me to hop on the mic and turn some of my poetry into songs. So I kind of pivoted, but I have come back to acting again, mainly just through friends of mine who knew me back in the day when I
Okay.
was focused more on acting, and they'll give me auditions and stuff. And I recently got to be in a movie that just came out. It's available on streaming, on a bunch of different platforms. It's called Feeling Randy.
Feeling
And
Randy. Okay, that's awesome.
yeah. And it's a true story. It's basically the true story of how the director uh, lost his virginity and kind of also figured, I mean, I'm sure he had some ideas, but he's a gay man and he is growing up in the 70s. It is kind of like him figuring out his sexuality and figuring out that he's gay. And I played the prostitute that steals his virginity. Not steals, actually. There's an exchange. There's actually exchange.
Borrows his virginity.
Yes, yeah, I just, he pays me and I take it willingly. But yeah, it is kind of funny because it is a true story. The prostitute's name was Trixie, and that was the only woman that he ended up ever having sex with his whole life, and he just remembers it very, very vividly. So it's a small part of the movie. I'd say the scene's only like 5-10 minutes long, but it's a very, very pivotal part because it's kind of
Right.
leading up to this. It's like him and his friends are kind of scheming and conniving ways to raise money so that they can go to this legal brothel in Nevada. And so they do this road trip. They have like all like they throw like a kegger. They do all these things to get the money together. They're all like, high school, like 17 years old, and they finally make it in there. So the whole movie is kind of building up to that. And then they have a really, really just sweet and genuine interaction where she kind of can tell that he's gay, and she's probably the only person in the whole movie that ever acknowledges it. And
That's
he
deep.
just
Yeah.
kind of sees who he is and is really, really kind to him and sweet to him. So what could be like really, really raunchy is actually kind of a touching moment between them. And
You got to show a little range then.
I got to show a little range, yeah, and I had such a fun time doing it. I
Did you
love the
shoot in LA?
We shot it in LA, yeah. They shot it for the whole film for such a small budget, but it turned out really good. It's got some pretty good names in it, people that some of you guys might recognize. There's this actress named Marguerite Moreau that's in it, and the lead actor Reed Miller is really, really good. He's been in a film with like what's the Marky Mark guy? Mark that rapper turned actor, Marky Mark.
Oh, Mark.
You know,
Wahlberg. Wahlberg.
Wahlberg, yeah. So there's some pretty good names in it, and yeah, I would highly recommend everyone checking out. It's very sweet. It's fun. It's a period piece. It's a coming of age film, and it's not like it's more touching than just like what it could be. Like, you know, a lot of times people might think it's like raunchy, these teenage boys trying to lose their virginity, but it's actually really sweet.
Okay. What's some of the platforms we can find it on?
I know it's on Amazon. You can rent it.
Okay.
Let me just look on my phone, right? I know we have it somewhere,
And
but
what's the name of it again?
it's called Feeling Randy.
Oh, Feeling Randy.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my phone right
And
now.
Randy was feeling Farah.
Yes. So it is available so many places. It's available on YouTube, Google Play, Amazon Prime, Fandango, Apple TV.
Okay.
Um,
All
yeah,
right.
so it's very easy to find.
All right, me and
Uh,
wifey, we'll have to check you out one day. We'll have to check that out. That'd be kind of awesome.
it's a fun
I
one.
love to hear or see. You know, I think now with all the streaming stuff, my stint of independent films was like way before this whole technology boom, and it was like '04, and we were still in Blockbuster and Hollywood Video. So
But that's amazing. I just love when people could go down to the store and just pick up the movie. Like I
Oh,
miss that.
I miss those times. And Blockbuster was, you know, it was the joint. Like that was like you go to Blockbuster on a Friday night and be like, I'm gonna rent 2, 3 movies for the weekend. That was a good time. Like
Yeah.
I definitely miss those old Blockbuster days and Hollywood Video, things like that. But the film I co-starred and was the casting director and co-wrote, it was titled Hate the Game. When I
Mm.
wrote it, it was Final City. So it was actually really cool. And, you know, some of the premise of it, I think the TV show Empire that was really popular on Fox kind of emulated and copied a bit. So, but
Uh,
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So okay, before we get to your first performance, I was trying to let some more people come in the room because Farah's going to do 2 songs live for us tonight, you guys. So this is going to be really fun. Never
yes.
heard this on the Knowledge is Love Astrology podcast before. So you are the first. We've had other people rhyming, but not like a full-fledged performance. So I want to know, and it's really 2 separate questions. But for me, for like, who are your favorite female rappers? Like, who inspired you? Who do you like to listen to? Like, who do you respect? Like, tell me those female lyricists that you appreciate.
I would say that the first one that really stood out for me is Missy Elliott.
Mm,
Um,
yeah,
I just love her, you know, and it's with Missy, it's not even just her lyrics, although she is a great lyricist. It's
yeah,
just her flow
yeah,
is so amazing. She's such a good songwriter. She's always in the pocket. Her songs are infectious. They're
yeah.
so fun. And you know, I know she does get a good amount of flowers. A lot of rappers, even I think recently Lil Wayne was like, "Oh, she's definitely in my top 5." But I don't think she gets enough, and I
No, you're
love.
right. She doesn't get enough respect, and she was super talented and really was a writer for all genres. She like brought up Aaliyah, brought up other artists, like the whole, you know, Virginia crew and all that. Like she was, yeah, just a trailblazer.
Yeah. Yeah, so I always loved Missy growing up. That was one of the first CDs that I had, and I had the Under Construction.
Oh
I
yeah.
played nonstop. I did like Lauryn Hill. I wasn't like I didn't own her CDs. Well, maybe I did have the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill,
Oh, I
but
think
I did.
everybody had that one.
I was like, I feel like I probably did have that one, but I did love the doo wop. That song just always really, really
Oh yeah.
spoke to me. Such a brilliant song. The way that she talks about, she talks directly to the men and she talks directly to the women, and you know,
Yes.
that kind of reminds me of Gemini. She's like, I understand this perspective, I understand that perspective. Like, it's not just like I'm not trying to hate on one or the other.
And yes,
So
and she's a Gemini MC. Yeah, she's a
yep,
Gemini.
as well. And then I would say modern artists that are inspiring me currently. Um, I would say Tierra Whack is really, really amazing.
Mm. I
Um,
don't know her. I got to check her out.
I'll send you a link. She's very funky, avant-garde, super clever with her lyrics. I mean, everyone is so obsessed with Doechii now, and I've been a fan of hers for a couple years.
Yeah, I didn't know about her. And when I saw, you know, I didn't really watch the Grammys so much, but then when I saw her performance and saw she won, I was like, "Ooh, I gotta like." Me and my wife were both like, "Who's this? She's good." Like, I was like, "I gotta hear." But I heard her whole strategy for how she like was one way on TikTok, one way on IG, another way on YouTube, and like her behind the scenes of the making of her album. Like, she had like a whole campaign that was like beautiful.
Wow, I didn't even know about that.
Oh yeah,
I
it was like strategically, like it was like gold. She's amazing. Yeah.
Well, I did hear a little bit about her writing process for writing her album, and I think she did something where she gave herself 30 days
Yeah.
in which to write all the lyrics and basically get all her parts done, which is smart. I think sometimes it's scary to give yourself a time limit, but Chase and I were talking about it the other day. Sometimes if you have too much time, you're going to, you're going to be so tormented by all the options and choices, and
When you're under
it's
pressure, sometimes you're forced to perform. Yeah.
yeah, and you're forced to just make judgment calls that just kind of are from your gut instinct, and like, this is what I like, this is what sounds good. I'm not going to labor over this for years and months,
That's right.
and I've done both. I've done songs that come out super fast, write super fast, and then I've had other songs where I've dabbled with them over the course of weeks or even like a month. But I do think that the ones that are the most successful, usually I think they do come out pretty quick.
Yeah. That's fair
I
to
must,
say. Yeah.
and it's not to say that all of them, you don't always get that. I wish every song just came out quick, but sometimes, it takes a long time. But those songs, a lot of times they might not even make it to the light of day too. I think it's important to just kind of be prolific, and then you can be like, okay, I'm going to pick and choose which ones I want to actually share with the world. But yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
So big Doechii fan.
Okay.
I do also, in terms of,
Do you like Nicki Minaj?
I do like Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
I mean, I mean, in terms of rapper, she is so talented, so
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
And also, I think that she kind of created this sound that everyone is using now. How she goes into different characters, and even like her different flows and intonation. It's kind of like the gold standard. I think a lot of female rappers, myself included, will be inspired by her at different points. Something about Nicki Minaj, it's just she's just, I don't know. Sometimes her personality just seems like a little bit uh, a little bit extra, but you know what? I love her music. So
Yeah.
she's definitely up there for me. She's definitely up there, and I have mad respect for her because you can't deny it. She's an undeniable talent.
Oh yeah, no, but I know what you mean. There's sometimes there's an abrasiveness that I'm like, but I think lyrically, right, it's just pure skill and talent, and
Yeah,
like you said, to be able to, you know, really hold her own with the fellas, but to the lyrical, like sometimes the singing, the dance hall flavor, the straight spitting, there's a very eclectic feel about her that I respect. You know what I mean?
yeah. I like Doja Cat. I think that she's more like kind of stream of consciousness
Yeah,
lyricist almost,
yeah,
not like it doesn't have to tell a story per se. It's just, again, amazing flow.
yeah. I
Oh, and
liked
we've
her
got
more on the first album. Then I kind of lost her a little bit with some of the content. But yeah, but like when she first came out, like that big hit, and just like, I mean, to me, I was just like, who's that? Like, I was like, she was spitting. Like, I was like, okay,
I
so
was gonna say we got some newcomers into the chat over here. We've got Sia.
hey, Sia.
Yes, she says she's ready for the bars. Tea.
Yeah.
And
Well,
some people said they checked out a few clips from the movie. And then we have, I don't know if it's Ali T8047 or Alette 87. Grand evening to you,
hey,
friend.
Ali. Yeah, I think it might be Ali T. I'm not sure. Or
Ali T.
Alette. I know. I pronounce, my wife pronounces it Alette, but I was thinking that too. Like, I don't know. Is it like Ali? I think it may be Ali.
All right.
I think she
If
may
it,
email me. So, okay. So, well, you finish your thought and then we can get into.
I think that I would say that those are my favorite female MCs. And I do like, I think another one where I'm like, am I pronouncing her name right? I do like Lee Kelly. Lee Kelly. I don't know. I don't know if it's like Le Kelly. I think it's Le Kelly
Oh, I
47.
don't know her. I don't know her. Okay.
Really good. She has this song called like Fist in the Pocket that I really love. And
Okay.
she has a couple songs you may have heard. Like there's this one, Money, that you might know.
Okay.
Um, and also I was just about to, Lil Sims. She's a UK rapper. She's
Mm.
amazing. And
Okay.
she's kind of like a very, I would say, thoughtful lyricist, you know, kind of the conscious MC. And she's, again, like kind of like I do, kind of tries to talk about all like different subject matter, politics
Right.
and female empowerment and stuff.
That's dope.
She's got that UK style, which is really fun too.
No, no, that's awesome. I know for me, my favorite female MCs were always, I grew up with I love Salt and Pepper and MC Light.
Yeah.
Latifah legend, Lauryn Hill is she's my favorite because I love the Unplugged album. I think it's one of the best things ever created. Loved her first album too, and her work with the Fugees. But I also like people like Remy Ma. Remy Martin is super
Yeah,
dope.
Remy Ma.
Love her, and but there are a lot of underground female MCs that I loved over the years in New York and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, to me, like lyrics are lyrics, and I've never had any like bias or anything towards like female MCs. Like, I actually tell you a funny story. I was in a cipher at the New Music Seminar in New York City in 94, 95 with Bahamadia. And
Oh, damn.
she's a beast. Bahamadia is a very underrated, dope female MC out of Philly. And Bahamadia was dope. I also used to love and respect Eve. So, like, different artists like that. But yeah, that was rhyming with her was actually kind of fun. It was like a dope cipher and stuff. And so that was pretty cool. So, go ahead.
I was gonna say I've heard Remy Ma is like amazing in
Oh, she's
cyberspace.
sick, yeah.
Do you ever watch Rhythm and Flow, the show on Netflix?
No, I haven't seen that. I got to check that out.
Love it. It's really fun. It's
Okay.
really fun. It's basically a rap competition, and the judges are all famous rappers. And she was
Oh,
a
really?
guest,
Oh, I gotta watch that. I didn't know about that stuff. Okay,
she
Rhythm and
was a
Flow.
guest judge on the I think it was like the cipher round, and kind of like it was like everyone got a beat ahead of time, so they had 24 hours to write, so it wasn't just completely off the top.
Okay.
4 hours to write something, and then they all have to be part of a cipher. And she was a judge, and they were like, you guys, she's gonna be hard on everyone because she's kind of the best. So
Yeah, Remy, she spits it crazy. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so we'll find out about the men and some of your Gemini MCs, but now it's all about you because you spit hot bars. Okay, you're gonna do two songs. I know some of your catalog. I may not know the two songs you're doing tonight. Share with us the first one and what's the second?
I mean, I've got options because the first one I'm going to do is actually a song that I've never put out. I just love the rhyme, and I think that it fits well with
Okay,
the vibe that we're giving tonight.
that sounds dope. What's it
And
called?
it's I just call it Yosemite, but it's a Meek Mill beat.
Okay,
Um,
Yosemite.
classic
Okay.
that I will be rapping over because it talks about this experience that we had in Yosemite. Some friends of mine, and we arrived, and it was like this terrible snowstorm, and we did not know it was going to snow at all, and like our tents were not waterproof, and there was like puddle of water everywhere, and we were freezing cold, not like in like tennis shoes and stuff. And I was like, we might not survive the night. Like I don't think we're supposed to be outside in the snow at night. We're gonna
Okay.
live. So it touches on that. So, and then the other one, I thought about doing Work for Me because I know you like that song. I think
I do.
you like that song.
But we did play that on the first one, so maybe
On the
we'll
first
do
one?
something
Okay.
different.
Then maybe I should do Fucking Precious, which is my female empowerment song. I don't know. Did we do that one on the first one? I don't think so.
No, we didn't.
I mean, obviously that one's, so I was like, I don't know. Is it too much swear words? Because it's literally called Fucking Precious. But as long as you guys down, it's actually a really, really good message. So maybe I'll do Fucking Precious.
Okay.
I think everyone
Well,
will.
let's do the first one, and then we'll come back and talk some more, and then we'll do the
Empowerment.
second one. Yeah, let's break it up.
Yeah.
And
Since we're talking about female empowerment anyway, maybe that is a good idea.
yeah.
All right, let me get my
Yosemite. You guys are in for a treat.
let me get my mic turned on.
Yeah, get yourself settled and stuff.
All
This is
right.
fun, you guys. Hey to everybody in the chat. And just so you guys know, she's a Gemini Sun and Mercury, Sag rising, and an Aquarius moon. and she is definitely about freedom and liberation, very innovative, futuristic, and and I've met her mom, not officially, but just I did her mother's birth chart and hers and her husband's. So this is like a family affair here.
It is a family affair. You know more.
I feel like I've got to meet your mom because she's like freaking awesome. Like she's always like globe hopping and stuff.
She is really awesome. She's an icon. Okay, so Mike is going, but you know what I need to do? I accidentally
the echo came back.
My Bluetooth, because I gotta play that beat off of that. Hold on 1 second, guys.
Well, you guys, this is perfect because right now in transit, the moon is in Taurus, right, in her 6th house of work and daily routine. So this is definitely like you're right on key with in terms of what we're doing, and the moon's in Taurus.
I love that for me. Okay, yeah. So I think I'm ready now. I think I got the mic set up.
It seems like there's compared to when we were working in the studio. I think it sounds like the echo is back, or maybe not.
Well, I could. Is this better? Was that way? I don't know. Is it a crazy echo or just a little echo?
No, it's not crazy echo. Maybe the mic isn't. Well, just say like hello or some things.
Hello, check. I can turn my mic down too.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got this sound system and it's really, really good. Here, I can just maybe if I just turn it down a little bit. Is that better?
Yeah, because you know what it was? I think it was up too loud, so you weren't as clear.
Yeah. There we go. I'll just do that.
You could maybe turn it up a smidget higher. So we can hear you good. Huh? That sounds good. Let me hear you.
Is that good for you guys? Check.
Yeah, I think that sounds pretty good. You guys can hear her good?
Wonderful. And let me make sure. And then I'll just play the beat. Well, if the beat is too loud or anything, you guys can let me know. But let's get it going. How do we feel like that? For the volume of the beat, do we like it?
Good.
Awesome. Female Emcee Farah Shea, all day, every day. So excited to be here with BigEAstrology. Check it, we got a little Yosemite coming up for you guys. Things are looking up for me, yo. I feel like Mother Earth and I got custody, so you gotta trust in me when I say the future is mine. I got the karma for your suture and the fuel for my rhymes, cause I paid dues and I grew wise, and in due time I saw life through new eyes. Cause I've been up shit creek, came back for more. I tackled that bitch with an oar. I didn't see it as a chore. I took that bullshit like a matador. And sure, I get insecure from time to time. I'm only human. I'm living on the verge of fortune and financial ruin, but I won't let it get to me though. From now on, I just focus on a victory, ho. Mama told me play the cards that you're getting. I was down to royal flush, so darling, I'm always winning. Ladies, I'ma tell you, play the cards that you're getting. If you're down to royal flush, make sure those heads keep on spinning. Make sure those heads keep on spinning. Down to royal flush, make sure those heads keep on spinning. See, I went camping in Yosemite, those woods gave me a sign. It snowed so much when we arrived, we thought that we would die. This game was a surprise, reports said it'd be nice. Our sleeping bags were soaked, but we had coolers full of ice. Oh well, we brought along some shrooms for the ride. We popped a couple down, and then we felt alright. We popped a couple down, then we felt alright. Somehow we built a fire from the wood that still was dry. Suddenly we felt inspired to not live but be alive. We danced around the flames, danced just to survive. We danced around the flames so the temperatures would rise. They did. And we lived another night. We wrote another chapter in the book that's known as life. I call that page perspective, cause when an ego gets too big, you gotta check it. Cause we ain't greater than the sun, ain't greater than the moon, ain't greater than the trees that they used to build this room. Be grateful for the greatness you see on a daily basis. Embrace each other's races, other faces, other places. The statement that I'm making is life is what you make it. Make your bed with hate, then you lay in poison blankets. Make your bed with love, you probably end up naked. You probably end up giving instead of always busy taking. Let's take a moment just to take it in.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yo, that was tight. Definitely, so okay, what we're gonna do for next one, we'll probably bring up the track a little bit and the mic a little bit, but it sounded good. It was just that I was worried that it was gonna like get like fuzzy and hazy. But that
Yeah,
track, I love how you ride on the beat there. And yeah, that Yosemite, that's hot. Okay. I
that's
like
a
that.
fun one. I just like that rhyme. I still need to actually record that one of these days.
Yeah, you need to record it. And I've
Yeah.
never heard that track before. Oh, that's a Meek Mill track. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. I love it. It's just so simple. There's so much space.
No,
Oh,
those basic, sometimes those tracks that give you space to like ride it and breathe, those are the best.
yeah. I don't love when there's too much going on just because I like to be able to, I like the lyrics to stand out. But
Yeah.
I have songs that are like dance tracks where it's more about the music and it's more about the feeling. So I do go back and forth between songs that
Well,
are
that's what I think works for me. Like,
yeah, that's what worked for me is
yeah,
it's a
that's very dance. The lyrics are dope, but like the dance, like, and that one, we talked about that on the first show, and you guys will, I'm gonna link the first episode because we played her music video for work for me. And that one, I love that work that shit because it works for me. Yeah, like that joint is, and it's got like such a funk to it. But I see, I like not only how you write, but I think the way you take the written word and the way you perform it, it's very clever, but it's very artistic. Like you really, that Gemini energy comes out of you. You know what I mean? And
perfect.
I just
I'm
love it.
just
That was hot.
in with the
Did you
chat
guys
open.
hear it good? Do we need to turn up the mic on the
We need
track?
to bring up the vocal mic just a tinch.
Yeah, yeah, just
Um,
a tinge, yeah.
we've got Alana, little sweetheart Alana, giving me some love and saying that she loved the word flow and everything. So for
Yeah,
the next, we'll bring up the vocal a little bit.
yeah. No, that was that was tight though. Oh my God. And then it made me feel like the whole kind of scenario that you're talking about, like, like going through the adventures of the night and the partying and the escapism and
It's like those moments in your life that you kind of just teach you something. And that's why I'd say, like, we wrote another chapter in the book that's known as Life. I call that page perspective, because when an ego gets too big, you got to check it, because we can't fight Mother Nature. You know what I
nope.
mean? Like, sometimes you just got to be like, wow, I actually am a very, very small little piece of this puzzle. And I'm at the mercy of this beautiful world. And I need to give thanks to nature and everything, and come prepared, give her proper respect. Don't go out into the middle of the woods without the proper preparation, because it could
Right.
snow.
Gaia Mother Earth, you gotta respect it. So honey, so two questions. So one, when did you write this? And then two, share with the audience, give them some insight, because I always find it interesting talking to other MCs about this. Um, do you have like a formula for writing when, where, and how?
No, so I wrote that one probably like I wrote it a while ago, maybe 20
But I mean,
7.
did you write it soon after that night?
Oh yeah, pretty soon after.
Okay.
I think I had like come up with this concept where I just kind of, you know, I wanted to talk more about nature and spirituality and things like that, and connections with nature, and kind of more, like almost like witchy kind of stuff. It wasn't, not really witchy, but
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
just the just kind of hippie stuff. And I was like, I think that that's a good lane for me, because that's who I am as a person, and I kind of want my music to reflect that. And I think I wrote it probably not soon after that experience. I mean, not long after that experience. Uh, and yeah, in terms of like a formula for writing, no, I wish there was, but it's just kind of it just comes to me in different times. Sometimes I'll be, out and about, and like inspiration will just strike. I'll just have like a really great idea for a great line, and that can be the start of a whole concept of a song. Other
yeah.
times, like something that I really, really want to talk about. So I start to kind of develop how I want to approach the subject matter. And other times it's like recently I just did something where it was you know, an audition for a sync. Sometimes when you're a musician, you get these things where they're like looking for a song for a commercial, and
Yeah.
they're like, oh, it's got to sound like this or something like that. And I got one of those, but they were like, we need the song in less than 24 hours. So I had to like kind of come up with a beat. I just used a bunch of samples, and then my producer replayed the samples and made them actually sound good, and then wrote a whole song and recorded it in like 6 hours.
That's
That's
awesome.
not ideal, but it's just
No,
different
that's
every.
really hard. And I want you guys to respect that and understand, like, to really understand it. Yeah, when you have to work in those time constraints, not only just writing it, but to be able to, read it off the page or memorize it or whatever you're doing, it's challenging.
Yeah.
I mean, rhyming sometimes when people do it really well, it can make it seem like it's easy. But even like when I freestyle at the beginning of the show, like it's not easy. Like it's not easy. Like, you know what I mean? Like it really, there's like a whole, thing with it. And I know for me, when I was, writing all the time and wrote my first two albums and my mixtapes, um, there's sometimes, like you said, there would just be a spark of a moment, and then
Mhm.
there's sometimes you think of like a title or heading, right? And then you're like, okay, I've got this title, but then how do I construct, the bars and the verse and the hook around all this?
You got to flesh out, got like a skeleton, but now you need to add all the flesh, and the skin and everything. And it is really tough. And we got a question from Alana. She
Yeah.
said, when did I start performing? Was it something that I always knew I wanted to do from a young age?
Mm.
Yeah, I was actually kind of shy when I was a kid. So I didn't perform probably until junior high school.
Oh,
And
well, that's cool, though.
just did the basic stuff, everyone like your talent show and things like that. We did a lip sync, my friends and I, to that one song. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like, you want it, you
You
got it,
got it.
you want
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
even you.
Baby, you got it. Just bust the move, Young MC.
Bust a move, Young MC, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and then I just had so much fun doing that I was like, oh, maybe I should do like more drama and stuff. So then in high school, I like got into drama class, and I did drama competitions and did some plays and stuff. And then at that point, I was like, this is my favorite thing in the world. This is what I want to do, and that's why I decided to go to school for theater.
And that's how
And
it seems, though. It seems like it lights you up, right? Like when you get to dispense your language and speak your rhymes, and I'm sure even when if you get to do any acting, do you feel like your heart is kind of at home?
yes, it's when I'm the happiest. It's when I feel the most confident, the best about myself. Because just like anyone, I struggle a lot with like insecurities and confidence issues. But when I am in my flow state, when I'm creating, I feel like that's what I actually have in this world to contribute. That's special, and that's
Mm, that's
something
beautiful.
that's what
Yeah.
I'm here to do. So I feel like I'm just kind of doing my life's purpose,
Is
and
that when you put on your Wonder Woman cape and you're like,
just like this is what I'm supposed to do, and it just lights you up, and it just makes me so happy, and it fills me with confidence, and like it'll just last for days and days. Like even after, I know this is like really nerdy, but even if after I just got this sound system, I got it recently, but I've now just been testing it in my house, and
yeah.
like just playing with the vocal mics, and I was just playing with the different effects and like practicing for my show. It was sounding so good. And I was like, oh my God, my show's going to be so good. And I had to go to work at my, day job or like night job. I had to go work bartender, serve that night. And
Yeah.
I was like, this is going to be the best night ever. And it really was, because I still had that energy from my artistic joy that was just like effervescing. And I just went and I had the best night at work too. So it definitely lasts and it lingers. But I do notice that if I go for long periods without creating, I start to get into like a bit of a depression, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean because I haven't like really sat down and constructed an album in years, My second album I finished in like 2012, and I'm planning to start my third album, but I still love coming on here. And even sometimes when I don't think I'm going to start off the show with a freestyle rhyme and I'm tired and I've just had a rough day or stressed with the kids and this and that, to be able to come on here and number one, connect with these lovely people in the chat and the audience, but just to even spit a freestyle, sometimes I'll kick like a written rhyme, but sometimes I just like to, talk about astrology topics or whatever. So I'll just freestyle, but it lights up my heart and my soul because that's who I am. And I rhyme every day in my house in front of my wife and kids, like, because I am hip hop. Like I tell people my last breath will be a bar. Like I'm gonna spit, like as I'm like gasping for air, I'm gonna spit something. Like that's who I am. Like, it's without a question. So I know that, and I can see like how you light up. So that makes me smile too. And that's the thing, you guys, that Farah loves it, right? And that's what it's about.
Yes, and we actually have a couple of questions here. So, someone says, "Who were you inspired by, particularly as rappers from Red Velvet?" And then I also have a question from Alana saying, "Your husband seems to be a creative as well. How is it navigating the industry with your love?" Both
Yeah, she's married to a Gemini. Yep, he's creative.
Yeah. So, inspired by particular rappers. I'd say when I first started off. I was inspired by Snoop Dogg. I really love his like flow and like even I think kind of like Slick Rick kind of has that kind of really melodic flow. I was inspired by those. Again, my music doesn't necessarily sound like that, but I am inspired by them. I'm inspired by Andre 3000. Him and Kendrick Lamar have been my favorite rappers for many
two Gemini
years.
friends. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just like that they both seem really weird and quirky, and I just like their approach. It's not like straightforward when they're talking about something. It's very layered.
They're
It's
always coming in like from the left corner pocket or like, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's dope. Yeah.
It's hard to really put your finger on it, but there's something very, very special about both those artists. So those are definitely my favorites. But honestly, I am inspired by so many different people. So there's times where I'm inspired by Lil Wayne. He's so amazing. Yeah. There's times where I've been inspired by Mystical. And the thing is, like, it's like when you take these inspirations, the final product, my music's not going to sound like that. I'm a little white girl from Utah. It's not gonna sound like that. But I'm inspired by them, and it fuses through me. So that's and then something.
So wait, you're Gemini. What do you think about Mr. West, Kanye?
I mean, I've been a big fan of his music for a very, very, very long time.
Yeah.
It's just where he's going right now is very.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's him anymore, but who? Yeah,
I don't know. He's gone off the rocker, but in terms of his music, his early music, I loved it. Graduation. We listened to a lot of Kanye West in this house. It used to be my husband's favorite rapper.
Oh yeah, College Dropout. I mean, so many. I tell people all the time. I still think like All of the Lights, like. That to me is such a colossal song. It's almost like you need two arenas to contain it. Like it's so big, musically, like just the way he brought it in and the singers and the drum rolls. Like he is a genius producer. And I just love what he does musically and the risks he takes and bringing in the orchestras and the singer. Like it's like exquisite. Like, I love, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I mean, you can't take anything away from him musically. He really is a genius. And to be able to produce like that and rap, it's just like such a rare skill. And he's amazing. And I wanted to touch on what Alana said about my husband. And also Sia said, okay, let's bring up the music as well. So I think, for the next song, we'll bring up the music and the mic just a little bit.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah.
So having a significant other, a husband that's also an artist, I think
Chase does film, right?
Yeah, he's an actor. Yeah. So we're we're in different fields a little bit, although, I am getting back into acting a little bit, and I just signed with an acting agent, so hopefully I'll get some more auditions
Oh,
now. But
cool.
yeah,
Congrats. That's awesome.
thank you. But it is, I would say it's amazing because we understand each other, but there's high highs and there's low lows because we're both going through a lot, of rejection.
Yeah.
You don't make a lot of money most of the time as an artist for very, very many years. You just kind of have to keep going, and
Grinding,
literally
yeah.
just the only thing that's going to keep you going is your love and your passion for the art. However, if you do keep going for long enough, things do open up for you. But the problem is most people don't have that, stamina in their heart to keep going, because it is like probably one of the most difficult things to just constantly put yourself out there, not have a lot of accolades, not have a lot of recognition.
Yeah. No, I
Be
did it for years. I know. I lived that life in New York, and it was a grind. And the rejection sometimes, it didn't make me doubt myself. It made me frustrated when I would see other people get parts or roles that I knew didn't even have a quarter of my skill or talent. That's
Yeah.
what would be very hard. So then I started to do more writing. And then that's when
Yeah.
I was like, well, I'll create my own stories. And I started to write plays, and then I wrote my screenplay and stuff like that. And that's what it pushed me to do. You know what I mean?
My husband Chase is in that same boat where he just finished writing his first TV show.
Awesome. Congrats.
It's a collaboration with a very amazing and talented writer and director named Elise, and she had come up with this concept many years ago and has been developing it for many years. And she had like an outline of where she wanted the first season to go, and she brought Chase in because she had read the first screenplay that he wrote for his first movie, and she was like, "Wow, you're such a talented writer. I would love if you'd come in and help me write this." Because she's
Oh,
like, I've
cool.
got again, it's like where you've like got the bones, but you need to flesh it all out.
Yeah.
And so they, over the course, I don't know if it's been a long time, either like 7 or 8 months, they've been writing this,
Oh,
and they're
cool.
just putting the last finished polish on the last episodes. They're finishing it all up this week. They're all written, and they're just going through and editing them. And now they're going to have meetings to sell it. But what's great is it was a way for him to have a creative outlet, and also, he's an actor, and there's a part in there that he could play too. So
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta make your own opportunities.
You do. And that's the thing is art. So I'm interested, like, how is it you're both artists, but more
Mhm.
importantly, you're both Geminis? I forgot your husband's moon. Do you remember? Do you know his moon?
Yeah, so he is Libra rising, Aries moon.
Okay, I remember something Libra, but Aries moon. Okay, so and that works well with your Aquarius moon. So, but how is it, honestly? I always think it's fascinating. Not though in astrology and relationships, you don't base relationships on sun signs, people,
Mhm.
but two Gemini people together. How does that work out? Like,
Yeah, I think a lot of times people think it's just like crazy wackadoodle all the time, which it is, I guess, a little bit ups and downs of like, being on top of the world, then being like, I suck and I'm the worst human ever. It's just Geminis are just like so much of like feeling very, very confident and feeling very, very insecure, and very, very confident and very insecure. And I
there's
think
a
a lot
lot
of
of Mercury, which can be like a lot of stress and anxiety, and then a lot of like go 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 and just nonstop, and then it's like whoa, like I'm like yeah,
I
I'm
think
sure.
that works well with two Geminis because I think that we understand each other on that. We're not phased by it, where other people are like, whoa, yesterday you were in a great mood, and now today you're like doubting everything, and you're like, I'm gonna quit. And I'm like, "Ugh, that's just how we are." So there's there's just one person that whoever needs the oomph and the boost, the other
So you
person's like,
guys push each other.
yes, 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 yes.
Hopefully, if you both are down for a day or two, hopefully it doesn't last too long though.
Doesn't last too long. It's
Good.
never, I think one of us always rises to the occasion and knows that, we gotta boost this other person up right now, and give them just enough of the tough love. Because sometimes you gotta have that little
Well,
tough.
my wife Alana and I, we are raising a Gemini, so I always say the Gemini women, you guys, I'm gonna keep it real, like four personalities. The Gemini man, it's 2 to 3, but it's about managing it. And I used to joke with my 15-year-old. I used to say to my wife, I was like, we're raising half Kanye West, half Prince. And I was like, and that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. But for me, it's fun and I love it. And Chase and I, we
He's a
just
great guy. He's such a great guy.
so much fun together. He's definitely my best friend
He's
in
great.
the world. It's just we're just laughing, we're giggling, we're cracking each other up. We get each other's humor perfectly. Not everyone else always gets it, but we're just always on the same page, and
Well, I
in
want
terms of humor and laughing and entertainment. We like to do the same stuff.
Okay.
We stand up for each other, I think is really, really important. Don't let other people slander and talk bad about your love.
Oh, that's right. No, never that. Yeah.
You
But that's
know,
what's interesting, right? So the both sun signs, but then the rising and the moons are both in sextiles. So there's a lot of, and I remember that in doing both of your charts, there's a lot of harmony in that with your big threes, right? You the Sag rising, him the Libra, and then the Aquarius and Aries moon. Do you feel like maybe you have an older soul, or does he?
I mean, I think he would probably say he feels like he has the older soul. I don't know if it's older soul. He's definitely a lot more mature and a lot more responsible than I am. I'm definitely,
Mm,
but he used to be pretty reckless. He's very responsible now and like so structured and he has a routine and he really, really sticks to it.
that's
But
good.
I think that came with a lot also because Chase is sober. So I think that like with his sobriety, that all came into place of like, really having discipline
Yeah,
and, he meditates and he works out
yeah,
constantly
that's
and
great.
really listens to his body and takes care of his body. I'm a little bit more like loosey goosey. Like I try to meditate. I try to work out. I do my best. I
Wait a
like,
minute. Don't tell the audience that you're not listening to the advice from Astrology.
I actually
Discipline is the key.
I've been getting better. I've been getting more disciplined and more routine, but I'm definitely a little bit more of, like I said, a little bit more reckless. We were laughing about that last night because she was like, well, it's good though, because, I'll just get in my routine of like, I'm only eating like chicken and broccoli every day and I'm working out at this time and I'm going to meditate. And you're like, we need some Oreos or, it's like have a little fun over here. So, and he's like, and then I help you have more discipline and like do our yoga and meditate and take care of my skin and everything. So we bring out the
The
best.
best in each other. That's awesome. That is awesome. So, any other questions?
Okay, that's amazing that he's a disciplined Gemini. I'm a Gemini rising and I try. Yeah, you know what? I think it's hard for Geminis because we are so kind of all over the map, but I really do think that we do well with structure, even though we push back against it. I think that structure is really,
It becomes your superpower because I think the Gemini, that's what it's missing. And then once it gets the structure, then it's like, oh, I can still be me within the structure.
yeah. Yeah. And in fact, maybe more so because I feel comfortable and I don't feel that anxiety and chaos that sometimes can come with being a Gemini. I feel like I'm prepared and I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
And I'm a person, I really do. I'm a stickler for preparation. So I do like to, try to be prepared for situations as best I can. And you know what, I had the different phases in my 20s. It was barely any structure at all. Now, I'm in my 30s, I'm approaching 40. And it's just, I'm so much more responsible, so much more just structured. I take care of my body. I'm not like so reckless. I was just partying a lot, drinking all the time. I still like to drink, but it was just, I was a lot wilder. I was pretty wild in my 20s.
Okay.
So
I'm glad you slow it down. I'm glad you slow it down. But I'm
yeah.
going to tell you this. So, even though we talked about in the first show, before we go to the second performance, I do, because I think this is very apropos to who you are and just that serendipitous energy that you talked about last time. And I want you to share the amazing story, because it connects to two of my favorite MCs, KRS-One and Rakim, about your experience at the Sundance Film Festival. Share that
Yes.
story, because I think it's so great, and I was just like cheering you on. I was like, that's super dope. But tell the audience like what you experienced and stuff.
That's got to be one of the best moments of my life. So I was at the Sundance Film Festival with my mom a few years ago. I think it was probably like 2017 or 2018. And she's been taking me since I was in my high school years. We'd go up and watch movies. My mom's a big film buff, and it's just something cool that happens in Utah. There's not that many cool things that happen. So you got to take advantage of when they actually happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were up there for the festival. At this point, I was living in LA, and I was going, I would fly out for like a week and go to movies and stuff. And there's lots of cool art events and concerts. And I had a friend who was producing this party, and it was an event where KRS-One was there, Rakim was there, will.i.am was there. And I thought it was just going to be like they were going to be at the party promoting this project that they were working on at Sundance, but it wasn't that. It was actually like a performance. And I've never been to a party like this, but this is how I imagine. I was like, oh man, this is probably what it's like to be those like cool East Coast hip hop parties. Like it was in kind of like this basement, and there was tons of people there, jam packed. And then KRS-One got on stage, and he was just like completely emceeing, freestyling, doing all sorts of fun call and response, like just getting the audience completely warmed up.
He's my favorite of all time.
He was like, my mind was blown. I was like, this is what performance is. Like, I was like, wow, I really need to step up my game. And so I was like, okay, noted. He's amazing.
No,
Then he came out and performed, and then will.i.am and like I just like some of maybe his entourage and like local rappers, I don't know who they were, came out, and they were doing like a cypher. They were passing the mic around, and at this point, I had like kind of inched my way to the very, very front of the stage. And it wasn't like a super high stage. It was like maybe like waist high. And I was just like, damn, man, I want to be up there. I was like, I can rap. I was like, I can rap as good as these guys. I was like, give me the mic. So that's why I just kept thinking that. And like, when you get this idea and it just keeps swirling around in your head. And I was like, if I don't do this right now, I'm going to regret it so much. I'm going to be like, I should have done that. I should have done that. So I had a couple drinks, and I was like, I'm going to fucking do it. So I crawled on stage. There was there was a lot of people on stage. So it was a situation where there's not just like one random person that crawls on stage and they're like, get that up. Nobody really noticed. I kind of crawled on the side stage, and I like kind of went over to the cypher, and they were passing the mic around, and I just looked at this guy. I was like, hey, give me the mic. And it was crazy, because everyone was like so worried as soon as I got the mic. You could just tell the whole audience was like, oh no, this is gonna be terrible. How did this happen? Rightfully so, because that would be my response to it. I'd be like, what is happening right now?
That's what we're gonna do, yeah.
What is happening? But I had heard this beat. So KRS-One is DJing at this point. So at first he was emceeing, then he got back on the decks and he was DJing. And I just heard the beat, and I was like, I have this rhyme that'll be perfect for it. So I just spit this rhyme. It wasn't off the top. I'm not really, really great at freestyling, to be honest.
That's all right.
But I had a rhyme that was perfect to it, and I killed it. Everyone loved it. Like, I was looking back at KRS-One. He was vibing to it. Like, the whole audience was like cheering, screaming. It was amazing. And it was short. I probably only did like maybe like 16, 20 bars when I like gracefully bowed out. And then luckily, so one of my friends caught it on video, and I posted.
And tell them they can find that on your TikTok channel, right?
Find it. It's pinned on my TikTok.
Okay, give them your TikTok, IG, and your website and all that information.
Okay, so my TikTok and IG are both the same. It's FARAH and then _SHEA. So you can see right there, my name's Farah Shea, and there's just an underscore between it. Yeah. And that video is pinned on both my Instagram and my TikTok, and it's just really fun. You can even feel the energy in the room.
Yeah, that's dope.
it was an amazing moment. And again, like, talk about riding high on some sort of like artistic high,
Well,
like
you
that.
must have
I
been
was
like on
so
steroids.
eager.
That's incredible. Yeah.
I was on cloud nine for like weeks. I was like, this is my life, can't get better. I'm fine. I was like, I'm good.
I'm good.
I don't even need to do it anymore. I can tell. It was just so cool. And just, I was very cognizant of checking back and making sure that KRS One wasn't like, get this bitch off the stage. But he was having fun, he was vibing to it, he was crashing to it. And I just felt like, oh, he liked
He's
it.
so cool though. I got to tell you, because so I never got to cipher with him, but I met him 2 or 3 times and have seen him perform a ton of times. But I actually got to sit and talk to him. He came to the University of Maryland, and it was for a lecture. He would lecture at different universities. So he came to Maryland, and after he was done lecturing, me and him just got to like sit down and build and talk, and it was so dope. Like, it was just like, because he's my favorite MC of all time. So that was just a huge thrill for me. And then there was another time at Rocksteady Park, which is my home park in New York, the GOAT on 97th and Amsterdam, right? So like my neighborhood where I grew up is like a pillar of hip hop and hip hop culture, and Rocksteady Crew, and I know Crazy Legs and stuff like that. So like when I tell people, when I say I am hip hop, and like that's, what I'm saying, like my hood, my neighborhood, but I'm like the younger brother, because actually my stepbrother went to grade school, like elementary, maybe kindergarten, first, second grade with KRS One, because they're 5 years older than me. And it was just like, yeah, he's just, and he's like, he's a giant, like he's huge, he's like a big guy. So, but it was so dope. And when you have experiences like that, it's a mark, because my producer in the Bronx, and I had him on the show, and we, reminisce and stuff. He produced a song with Just Ice and KRS One. Now, I didn't get to meet KRS One, but I got to meet Just Ice. And they have done songs together, like legendary songs, and going way, way back. And Just Ice heard my title track from my second album, which is Truth Speaker. And he was in the studio and he heard it. I didn't say anything or whatever. And he came up because he was like, connecting with the producer and stuff. And then he was like, "That's you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was sitting there, he's listening, and he was like, "Yo, that's hot, that's tight. I like that. I like that. Those bars." And I'm sitting there like, "Oh my God, this hip hop legend just gave me the stamp of approval and likes my joint." Like, I was straight. Like, don't nobody need to say nothing else to me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, "Yo, Just Ice." I mean, like, yo, he just said I was dope. Like, I'm good. Like, like
Yeah.
everybody else can kiss rocks. Like, yeah.
I
So,
mean, it's like I still think back on that memory, and I'm like, oh my God,
how could you not? Because
I'm so glad I did. And think about if I hadn't done that. Like,
and
normally
that's the thing. You were
I'm
brave and
okay, cool.
courageous, and you did it, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? It's like sometimes I get nervous. Like recently, another rapper that I like, Baby Tate. I had
Oh,
I
I
did
don't
a
know.
duet with her. She's really cool. And I did a duet with her and it went a little bit viral and she shared it on her page.
Oh,
And then
cool.
and she came into one of the places I was working recently. And I was like, oh my God, this Baby Tate. And I was like, oh, I want to go up and say hi. But I know celebrities don't always like to be talked to and stuff.
Yeah,
And she's not a
yeah.
huge name, but she's quite popular. And my husband was there working with me too, because we worked some of our jobs together. And he was
Okay.
like, you got to do it. He's like, you'll regret it. And I went over and she was so nice. And she remembered me. She was like, oh my God, I remember your rap. And she like knew one of the bars. And she was
Oh,
like, you're so dope. And like, she gave me her phone number and stuff. It's like, I'm not going to, I'm not blowing her
wow,
up.
that's awesome.
She was like, you're so cool and so sweet. And again, I was just riding high off that because I was like, wow, she remembered me.
That's awesome. That's what it's about. But see, listen, don't ever underestimate yourself. You know what I mean? And that's what this does kind of speak to, right? Because in life, and anybody in the audience, right? And this is in any field, not just in the artistic, rhyming, or acting or creative field, but in times in life, there's times where we will play small or we doubt ourselves, but we all have such an inner light to share. And the fact that you got on the stage and then went up and asked for the mic, it was like that Eminem moment, right? And you had your chance to rhyme, and you took Mom's spaghetti, and you were like, "Yo, boom, I'm ready," like Dave Rigetti, and and you spit it, and that's what it's about. And so I think all of us need to learn from that experience, even that Farah sharing, that we all can sort of step up to the mic, whatever that is for you in your life, in your career, in your marriage, or you want to date somebody, or whatever, and just go for it. We've got Aries North Node, right, which we're about to have the partial Aries solar eclipse on March 29th. We all need to walk in to being brave and courageous and the leaders of our own lives.
Yeah.
And it's important.
It's okay if you mess up too.
Yeah. Oh, so what? It's all right. It's better to try and mess up to never try and never fail.
Yeah, that's the feeling that I really, really just destroys me, and I'll just obsess about it, is when I had an opportunity and I didn't even try. I was too afraid. I was too afraid to put myself out there, or too afraid to fail, or whatever. So I've learned the few times that I've done that, and I'm like, I can't do that anymore, because it's just too depressing, man. I can't live like that.
All right. So what are you going to do for the second and final performance?
I think maybe I should do Fucking Precious. The only thing is, Fucking Precious, the way I perform it live, I do like a call and response thing at the end, where obviously I don't have a crowd here, so it's not going to work. But maybe you can respond.
Well, okay. I kind of feel like I've heard Fucking Precious, but I kind of
do F You to the Moon. I could do that one. That has some astrology references in it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, because I think I may have only heard pieces of that, but I think let's do that's gonna be hot.
I'll do that one.
Okay.
Do that one.
And remember, you're gonna turn the mic up.
Yeah, I'll turn the mic up. Let me just get this little system set up. So we'll get the mic up a little bit. Boop, 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 boop. Maybe like around this level. The thing is, it's like it sound in this room, it is loud,
No, I can hear it in there. Exactly.
Laptop.
I don't know if last time it wasn't terrible, but it was a little lower, but it was very clear. It was just lower. And so
Okay.
I think maybe you were a little far away from the
Well, I have the my amp here. I can face. I didn't want any feedback, but let me face it a little bit more like that. There we go. To pick it up for you guys. Let's get the F You to the Moon backtrack.
F You to the Moon by Farah Shea. It's going to be fun. I don't think I have heard this. I may have heard a piece of it before, but I can't remember.
A little bit naughty. It's not suitable for work for sure, but it's just fun. I definitely put like some little astrology references in here.
That's dope. Hey, listen, I may need you to get Farah Shea to write a little theme song for the Knowledge is Love Astrology podcast. That would be kind of dope.
We could do a duet.
Yeah.
Dear God, a duet. Okay, so let's give it a try. Let's see how it sounds. You know what I mean? Since this is a first anyway, we're figuring it out together. This is the first live Big E astrology moment, so we're just gonna keep it cute. See how it goes. Let's see how it
F You to the Moon. Okay.
I think that the beat will be loud enough. I'll turn the beat up just a little bit. How's that sound, you guys? The beat?
Good.
I'll turn my mic up just a little bit. O-U-T-E-R space. We're gonna O-U-T-E-R space. I'm talking ooh, babe. Now that I got you in the room, babe, I wanna fuck you to the moon, babe. I wanna fuck you to the moon. I wanna fuck you to the moon. I wanna take you. Everybody knows about the stars in the skies, but I bet they didn't know about the ones in my thighs. Got a black hole in my heavenly body. You can dive on in like a dip in the sky. I never met another who could fill the void. We put the ass in asteroid. I'm lost inside your silky base. I love to taste your Milky Way. Hot face, nice eyes. I know that's right. Big brain, chips wide. I like your style. O-U-T-E-R space. We're gonna O-U-T-E-R space. I'm talking ooh, babe. Now that I got you in the room, babe, important so you can count that. Do you like that? Yeah, I know you do. You've been thinking of the Sunday we were so to do. But we met, you said this life was only sort of dope. And I put a little horror to his horoscope. Hot face, nice eyes, I know that's right. Big brain, chips, while I like your style. O-U-T-E-R space, we're gonna O-U-T-E-R space. I'm talking ooh, babe. Now that I got you in the room, babe, I wanna fuck you to the moon, babe. I wanna fuck you to the moon. I wanna fuck you to the moon. I wanna, I'm talking ooh, babe. Now that I got you in the room, babe, I wanna fuck you to the moon, babe. I wanna fuck you to the moon. I wanna take you to the moon. I wanna. I can lie about it, let it make me randy. Doing everything I do that is the remedy. Got a quick shit, come in handy. Got a little strip where you can make a landing. O-U-T-E-R space. We're gonna O-U-T-E-R space. I'm talking ooh, babe.
All right. Oh my God. I like that. I think I've heard that rhyme, but I've never heard you perform it. But I like that. Yeah, that one is tight. And it made me think about it. I was like, oh, that's some Aquarius moon stuff right there.
I was just having fun. I was like, I just want to make a song that's like silly, kind of. It's like sexy, but it's also silly at the same time, and also nerdy. Because I'm like saying I'm like having all these space references. Like I say, like we put the ass in asteroid.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like,
No, I like that. I like that. It's clever. And see, that's very I think it's very Gemini, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like it was clever. There's a lot of wordplay, and I like it. But it's a funky groove, and
it is.
and you guys, I will link in this video. I'll put it down so you can watch the first episode because she played her music video, which is really cool. For just give them like the little. You can just do it a cappella or whatever. Just give them the like the little hook and like the intro to work that because it works for me. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes.
I could never tell you there's a way to be, but I work that shit cause it works for me. Yeah, I work that cause it works for me. Yeah, I work that shit cause it works for me. And I run cause I'm up to speed. You would catch my drift if it's up to me. Can you run that? Can you run like me? I'm a freak, so I freak pretty frequently.
Yeah, that video and that song, and you guys, she's got you'll see in the video, but she's got a moment towards the end, or it's like the kind of like in the break in the chorus, but it's very like kind of grungy or rock and roll, and you kind of like when you know, give me some space, and he starts kind of screaming a little. Yeah,
I
I
don't
love.
understand why you get in my way.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh,
And
man.
it's really cool. Like, so that's something that, to be honest with you, I wish that I had that in me that I don't. That is the difference I really feel between Gemini and Virgo.
Mm,
Because remember, Gemini is mutable air, but it's a masculine energy.
mhm.
Virgo is mutable earth, but it's a feminine. So I'm
Yeah.
way more introspective, and sometimes I don't like go crazy, like let myself outwardly go crazy enough. And that's my thing that I respect about Gemini energy. I really do. And that song right there, to me, when I heard it and saw the video, that was like, that's the Gemini.
Yeah, and it is nice to let that come out too, because I don't always let that come out in my everyday life,
Yeah.
and that's why I like having those moments in my music, because it's
Yeah.
it's a release, it's very cathartic. And I have another song called STFU, where it's like just getting out all of these frustrations that were just built up inside of me, and it's fun to let those out on stage, and like, in a controlled environment where I'm not gonna hurt anybody's feelings, or
Yeah. It's just performing, it's being artistic. Yeah.
yeah. So it's good to have those moments where I can really let out. But it is interesting that you say that, because I do find that, because I have a lot of Virgo friends, and it is true. You're right. There's just something that they can't let that side out. They don't want people to see it. But I think that's why we have so much fun together, is because we kind of like rile each other up, and I like a little
Oh no,
BA.
when Virgos and Geminis get together, it's like the Gemini will kind of like grab the Virgo's hand and be like, "Hey, it's safe to be wild and crazy with me." And then the Virgo can be like, "Okay, cool." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
That
that's
side of
really cool. Yeah. That's awesome. I love that. Oh my God. This
me.
was so much fun. It's so amazing. So tell people, where can they buy your music? I want people to go, because you
Oh, yeah,
guys, she's got like such an incredible catalog and so many songs.
I
Tell
do.
people like how many songs or albums, or like what's the catalog, and where can
I,
they
you know
purchase?
what? I haven't actually put them into an album yet. I've just done singles, but I think I have like 15 songs out.
Okay.
So there's a little something for everyone. Like I said, that the Work for Me is a dance one. There's some that are thoughtful. There's some that are pop. Just there's some that are dancey, and they're all on Spotify. They're all on iTunes.
Okay.
You can listen to them on YouTube. I think that if you look up Farah Shea, almost all my songs will come up. Even if there's not a music video for them, the distributor will put on a little video where you can hear the
And how
songs.
many videos have you done now? 2 or 3?
Okay, so I've done official full-length videos. I did one for STFU.
Okay.
Like, it's just very lo-fi, but it's still really fun. I did one for Fly Away. I did one for Fucking Precious, and I did one for Work for Me. And I also did one for Back to the Basics as well. And they're varying degrees of, like, some of them
wow.
are
Okay.
some of them are
There's
very
5. Wow. Okay.
yeah, some of them are very professional. Some of them I shot on myself.
Yeah. No, but that work for me is like, that's
Work for Me.
really,
Yeah, my
that's,
friend shot and edited that for me.
yeah, no, that's a great video. Yeah, that's
And then some of them I do like just short ones for. Oh, okay. Oh, so we've got some chat that we need to
okay.
address.
Yeah. Let's get to the chat. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Sia. It sounds like she was dancing a little bit for the "F You to the Moon." That one's a fun beat. We were inspired by what's the "What you gonna do when you get out of jail? I'm gonna have some fun."
Yeah.
The Tom Tom Club. We were
Yeah.
inspired by that. We wanted to take it way back, way old school. And so
Yeah. That's dope.
Dr. Dre, West Coast sounds, and mixed with the Tom Tom Club. And then Alana said, "I'm a freak, so I freak pretty frequently." Yes, that is a good line. I love that one as well. When lines work out so
No, that's a great line. I was like, oh, that's dope.
so yeah, that one brings me a lot of joy. And then Red Velvet said music has a nice beat, and we have Jackie chiming in, and she says that's so true about Gemini and a Virgo together. My brother was a Gemini and I'm the Virgo, and we had so much fun together. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's funny because people think that, like, oh, well, Virgos are so put together and organized and Geminis are all over the place. Like, it wouldn't make sense, but it works out so well. We're both Mercury, and I think it's fun. I think that Virgo needs that little chaos a little
Well, I
bit.
can tell you, some of my greatest adventures in life were with my Gemini friends. You know, I had a Gemini friend who's a stand-up comic, and some other Gemini friends in in high school and college. And like, I would just like come out a little bit more, warriors come out to play. Like, I would come out more around my Gemini friends. So yeah, no, it's really nice, but I love that energy, and I just love seeing it in my son, because like he could be kind of like, I'm like, oh, okay, like, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's funny, the signs that just show up again and again in your life, and Virgo is definitely one of them. And then I also I have a lot of I do
Well,
have a
that's
lot
your
of
10th house too, so that's your public image. You know what I mean? So you really would connect with the Gemini, the Virgo energy when you're out and about in public. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love, I have a lot of Aries friends as well, kind of spicy, fiery. I'm drawn to them. I love Sagittarius, I'm Sag rising. So I think that Geminis and Sagittarius get along so well.
Oh, yeah.
And they love to talk about really deep shit and like just get into weird rabbit holes and stuff. And like, oh, well, did you know the Salem witch trials actually It was like, we're at a party, like, get it together.
I
I was
love
like,
it. I
uh,
love it.
yeah, and what other stuff? Oh, Capricorn. Some of my best friends are Capricorns, so we have a lot of
Mm,
Capricorns in our life too. Again, it's like they're kind of sometimes giving different energy, but we work well together.
yeah. Well, I mean, having your Capricorn with the Mars and Neptune in the second house, I could see where Capricorn could be, you could
Yeah,
connect
and my
them.
husband is Mars and Capricorn as well, and
Who has the Mars Capricorn?
my husband.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's yeah, yeah, yeah.
We have a few placements this. I think we have like 5 or 6 placements that are the same, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
No, definitely.
yeah, so we both have a bunch of Capricorn friends, and our Capricorn friends are definitely buttoned up as well. Like they're definitely more grounded and everything. But get us some liquor in them, it can get pretty
Oh, let me.
crazy.
So okay, this is the mantra for Capricorns: work hard, and then party harder.
Yes,
Capricorns are like they will work till the cows come home, but when they want to let their hair down and party, woof, you better watch out because Capricorns they will close the club and the bar down.
they will. They're so fun.
Yeah,
They're-
that's really fun. I
yeah,
have a cousin who's a Capricorn, and she is comedy. She's always the life of the party. So this has been so amazing. You guys, please, she's a great follow. Go follow Farah_Shea, IG, TikTok. And is the YouTube just Farah Shea?
yeah. I think the YouTube doesn't have an underscore
Yeah,
in
yeah,
it.
it's just Farah Shea. Okay.
Yeah, I think you should be able to just find it under Farah
Yeah,
Shea.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
You
I
guys,
posting funny stuff and silly stuff, and I do a lot of remixes and duets a lot too. So you get my original music, and then I'll just pop on other people's music, or just I'm always
yeah.
trying to stay
No,
creative.
I love whenever I see you on TikTok, and lately I've been seeing like, different performances from your closet, and I love that, your performance from home.
Yeah. I'm doing my tiny closet series because I'm like, oh, I love the Tiny Desk series on NPR. But I was like, well, shit, I'll get in my closet. I got a tiny closet, but it's actually my husband is like, it's not a tiny closet, it's a huge closet. Like the fact that you can fit like all that stuff in there is quite big.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This guy,
No, but it's really cool though. I like it. So you guys, yeah, definitely an entertaining follow. But also one thing I want to just say to you that I really respect is that, you're not afraid of speaking up and speaking out, about, women, other women, not judging other women, not judging women by their careers or, what they wear. You just really rhyme from your heart,
yeah,
but also where you're like, hey, you know, have some respect too. You know what I mean? And I like that. Like you're kind of up in people's faces with reality and truth.
yeah.
And I think that's really to be commended. And now I think, but you have Uranus on the ascendant, right?
I can't remember.
I think your Uranus is in Sag, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, Uranus and Sag. So yeah, you got a little bit of rebel in you there.
Yeah, sometimes I forget about my outer planets. Yeah, I just feel like if I don't speak speak my mind about things, and if I don't speak up when I see injustice and things happening in the world that I know are wrong, that then there's why I don't even deserve to have any platform at all. So that's you'll get some you're gonna get some political opinions on my page, but
Oh yeah, she brings it, but that's okay. Like, listen,
yeah,
if we don't, what is it? If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything, right? So
yeah,
I think it's important, especially in this day and age. Hey, I mean, obviously in this day and age, people are always taking sides. I think we need to have a little bit more unity, but
yeah,
but at the same time, I think, if you smell BS, you need to call BS, or,
yeah.
if you smell injustice, you need to call injustice. So I like that you're not afraid to do that lyrically as an MC. So I definitely salute you and applaud you for that. And yeah, and one day we're gonna make something happen. We need a little E-Complete Farah Shea collabo.
Yeah, we can do the theme song for the show.
Yeah, actually, that would be kind of cool. I've thought about having like a little something. I mean,
That would
obviously, there's sometimes that I like that energy of just like kind of going off the cuff and, rhyming about my guest and the topic or whatever.
No matter what, but maybe like maybe an outro at the end of the show.
Yeah, that would actually be dope. Yeah. We'll talk about it. I want to do something. I definitely want to do something. And I just thank you for joining us live. This was so much fun. And yeah, you guys just go follow and support, stream her on iTunes and Spotify. Get them stream numbers up.
Yeah, get them up. I have one song that's about to, it's close to 100K streams, which will be a first for me to get in the 6 figures. So
wow, which song?
Vesuvius. It's very naughty. It's very not suitable for work. It's bad. It's naughty. But
what's the name of it again?
It's called Vesuvius.
Vesuvius,
like Mount Vesuvius.
Okay.
Reference to that old volcano, that famous volcano that destroyed Pompeii.
Oh, okay.
It's like a sexual, like the song "Sexual Eruption." Like it's a.
Yeah, no, I get it. Okay. All right, so you guys go get her over 100K, and that's on Spotify or iTunes?
That's on Spotify.
Okay, all right. I'll go support him and listen to it. I haven't heard that yet, so that sounds cool. But you guys, this was super duper fun, and so there's a lot going on right now, but any positive messages of hope? We've got obviously Mercury retrograde. We've got what else do we got going on? We've got Venus is retrograde now. We got eclipses this month. But just overall, in general, any messages of positivity or hope that you have for the collective that you'd like to share before we?
I'm such a hopeful person, even though I feel like things are, I would say not the best right now. You're right. I think that understanding and unity and compassion for each other is really, really important. I try to have compassion even for people that have differing viewpoints than me, because I do believe that people have the ability to change. I've changed my mind on things before, and I know people can change their mind. And so I think that we are going to go through an amazing shift globally, and we're going to awaken to a lot more peace and unity and loving each other. But I think sometimes that old saying, it's darkest before the dawn. I think that things have to get a little bit bad in order to get better. And so I think we're in the bad part right now, and I think it might get a little bit worse, but I think it's really going to wake people up. It's going to wake the system up, and I think things are going to be, it's the age of Aquarius. It's just the beginning now.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like 5-10 years from now, I'm thinking about the kids and how progressive they are, and how understanding they are, and how good they are at communication and spreading knowledge. And I think 5 to 10 to 20 years from now, things might be better than we could have ever imagined, but we might have to go through some kind of heavy stuff right now. That's my opinion on it. That's what
You're totally on. And that's what the astrology says, you know what I mean? And I always tell people, faith over fear. Don't you worry, like Bobby McFerrin said, right? Don't worry about a thing. I think we are going to be all right. But yes, we're going to go through some tough times. But this is what happens when we're leaving the age of Pisces, the Piscean age, the age of Aquarius. That shift is so tremendous. It is so wonky. And this is the year of sneak previews, right? We're having a little taste of Uranus going into Gemini, a little taste March 30th of Neptune going into Aries in May, a little taste of Saturn in Aries. And then everything shifts for quite a bit in 2026. So, we're built for it. Our souls chose to be here. So we're going to be all right. But yeah, we're going to have some dark times. But then, like I always say, I got Jupiter in the ascendant, so I'm really optimistic. The sun will shine tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I think too. I think that it's going to be better soon. And you know what? In times like this, rely on friends, rely on community, boost each other up. Take breaks from doom scrolling, do something that you love. That's why I try to write some art. Sometimes I get really depressed. I'm like, no, take your broken heart, make it art.
Create.
So whatever that means for you, take time for yourself to love yourself and boost yourself up too.
Thank you, my friend. This was awesome.
This was really fun.
I
as always.
really appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your heart, your skills, your gift. And yeah, you guys go follow and support and get those streams up for Miss Farah Shea. And
Thank
yeah, Gemini power, you know.
Gemini power to the twins, baby.
Yeah.
It's super fun. I loved it.
And say goodbye for me for your you know, Gemini husband. You know, us Mercury guys, we got to always stick together. So, you
Oh
know,
yeah,
I
gotta stick
salute
together.
face and everything. But this was fun. All right, you guys, thank you for watching episode 312 of my Knowledge Love Astrology podcast. And I will be back Thursday doing the special lunch with the Taylors. Alana and I will be back on Thursday for 313 at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, because that's what the algorithm says. But we tried going live during the day, and I didn't think anybody would be there. There was a ton of people there. I was like, oh my God, who knew? But what's cool, we'll be talking about Mars and Jupiter in the sign of Pisces. So it's
Okay.
going to be fun. All right.
Ooh, exciting.
Yes. All right, my friend. Thanks again. And don't be a stranger. You're always welcome here. And especially if you, want to premiere a new song or, whatever, like, yeah. Hey, let me
Perfect.
know. Let's do
No,
it.
I'm going to be cooking up some new stuff in the next couple weeks.
I love that. I love that. So, and continued blessings with the acting and all that good stuff. So, all right, you guys. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
All right. Good night, you guys.